Ding, ding, dong, bing, bing, bong. Oh, I guess I'm in the wrong country for that. Just kidding. It is me, Summer Rayne, here for another episode of the Scandal Sesh. Oh my God, I can't believe we're here. But before we get into it, let me introduce you to my co-host, who is...
Hey, Perry here. I was so intrigued by your intro. I almost forgot that I was on this too. I was just watching television. And we also have an extra special guest today, the queen of gossip here in Portland, our favorite quick drag, Shima Valentine.
Hey everyone, it's Shima.
Drop the bomb, boom.
What was I supposed to do? Was that it? Did I do it right? Did I nail it?
You nailed it.
Retake.
That's right. Oh my God. Thank you so much for joining us and being our guest this week. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been doing drag? Tell us where you came up with Shima.
So I've been doing drag for about 5 years, and initially I started as Hiroshima. So it was a name given to me by Vivica Valentine. And then at the time, she's like, I love the name. It sounds very strong. So I was like, oh my God, I love the name. But then later on, she was like, I gave you the name Hiroshima because it's just a tragedy everywhere you go. So then after a while, I just kind of dropped the hero because when I was going to, court events, it was very awkward, but people would always say like, welcome next to the stage, Hiroshima. So then I just kind of cut out the Haro and then just kept the Shima.
You're still my hero.
Thank you. I like Perry.
So speaking of reading, the mini challenge this week was a reading challenge. How do you think you do on that there, Shima?
I love a good reading challenge. I don't consider myself quick. I can do a read, but I would have to usually know the person. So I don't think if I was put on the spot, girl, let them have it, I'd probably be like, your hair's not combed. and yeah, so I feel like I'd be that girl. But if I had time to practice, I probably could do a good read, but I'm not an on spot kind of Rolodex kind of gal, if you will.
I would do terrible. I'm not really good at reading. Shut it down. I'm really not. It comes across as pheromone. Very pheromone when she comes across like a bitch.
Yeah.
But she's not meaning to be a bitch. She just doesn't know how to read. Illiteracy is hilarious.
What did you think about the girls reading today?
I feel horrible because there wasn't before in the past for the reading challenges, it was a good read because you would steal it, legs and dairy, you know what I mean? But this time it was good, but it wasn't like legs and dairy, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I think one of my favorites was when Candy got called a pug. I got mixed. She was like gay, trans, pug. Oh my God.
And what's happening? That was kind of the highlight too.
Yeah. I really liked Simone. I thought Simone did good. But yeah, there wasn't a lot of standouts besides Simone and Gottmik. I did say that, when I was watching it, I noted Tina called Utica Corey, Dorian Corey.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Dorian Gray.
No, I didn't know what she was talking about, but I looked it up, and Dorian Corey was in Paris is Burning, but years later, after she passed, they were searching her house, and they found a dead person in her closet, and they thought that it had probably been there for 15 years, and they still don't know what happened. They don't know the story, but I'm glad that Tina Burner brought it up because that was a little lesson for me.
Oh my God.
They actually brought it up in you remember the show Pose?
Oh yeah.
It was basically that they said that that's where they kind of gotten the that storyline, if you will. So
Gotcha.
Oh my God. But Simone was Tina, what did she say? How much, Tina, have you burned, really? What does that mean?
Are you serious?
Girl, even me as a Chinese girl know what Tina is, girl. What do you think Tina means?
Oh my God, I didn't even get it until Simone said something. I was like, oh my God.
But I do think Gottmik deserved the win out of all those girls.
Yeah, but I know another standout for me, even though they stood out for the wrong reasons, was Elliot.
Oh my God, that
terrible.
Was so bad.
That would be me. He'd be like, "Here you go, sis. Here you go, girl. I tried. I'm just gonna go back to the line."
Elliot was pretty bad, and Lala was pretty bad too. I thought Olivia didn't have the greatest jokes, but she's just so adorable. Like, just the way she presented it was so cute, fun to watch.
She is such a standout for me. Okay, at this moment in time, Harry, who are your standouts, especially after the reading challenge?
I mean, I'm sticking with Simone and Olivia all the way. Like, either one of them, I'll be happy if they win. I love Utica, but she's fallen out of my graces. Like, I want to see a little bit more of her, but I don't think she's gonna win.
I agree. She's very much one of those lip queens, but I don't think that she's gonna take it all the way.
Yeah. My favorite is Candy Muse, so.
I bet you two would get along great.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, listen, I feel like I sometimes struggle with self-confidence. So like when I see Candy Muse, it's like that's the type of energy that I want to exude. You know what I mean? So to others, it may come off like, oh, she's like a little much. And it's like very catty. But like for someone like me who gets a little claustrophobic out in public, so to me, I'm like, oh, I want to be that confident when I go out. I want to sit next to these heifers and just be like, eat it, like just love it. You know what I mean? So I can do it around friends, but like around strangers, I'm always just kind of like, can I get a glass of Coca-Cola, please? Like, you know what I
mean? I think that she's definitely like growing too. Like I'm kind of glad that she didn't get kicked off as early as I would have liked, because we get to see a change in her. And I think a change storyline is always like a favorite for me. But we'll also talk about her looks a little bit later.
Well, do you remember Roxy Andrews? She was painted out to be like the villain. And we really didn't kind of like, we're like, do not attack Jinx Monsoon. But then later on, you know, after the show was done, we really, really, really grew to just be obsessed with, you know, Roxy Andrews. So I'm hoping that's what happens to Candy as well.
I missed that. I didn't know we were obsessed with Roxy. I never got on that train.
Oh!
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I did really like her lip sync. Her lip sync on All Stars, I really liked. I actually thought she should have won. I was kind of surprised she didn't win that, but
I was obsessed with her in when she did the lip sync Assassin, where she had like the red outfit with the thick and juicy.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I thought she should have won that.
Yeah. Oh, she won that? Oh, I wasn't paying attention then.
I think she lost it.
I actually saw her the other day.
During COVID? She's in Portland?
At the bus stop.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We can't take you anywhere.
Oh goodness!
I loved your improv there. Was that your segue into the improv of it all?
Oh, the improv of it all. Yes, that's what it is. And talking about improv, we had the Bossy Rossy After Dark, the Rue Boot improv challenge, where the queens had to be in groups and improv their way, no script, in front of Ross. I would be scared to death. I'm so bad at improv. So bad.
I think if you like kind of notice with like the past shows, it's always like improv is very like you have to be like quick with your mind, right? Mm-hmm. But like a lot of the people, every time someone's like, oh, I am like the queen of improv, it's almost like they get too confident. So then they have that relaxation where that quickness isn't there because they're confident. And I really think that's kind of what happened with Utica, because she's very funny, but like on it, I think she was just a little like overconfident that she was gonna nail it, and then it just came out really, really, really dry.
Yeah, and she was like bitter to start with because she wanted the mime role and
Cheryl.
Yeah.
Cheryl.
But yeah, like that group, let's talk about that group first. Olivia, Utica, and Gottmik. I thought that was when I heard that pairing, I thought, oh, this is gonna be a really fun group. And then Olivia and Utica fought over the mime role. I thought that whole thing was so funny. Even Utica's like weird moments, like I still laughed, but I did get like she was taking too long on like some of her, like when it's like one of those things where you tell a joke and they don't get it and then you have to explain the joke and then everybody else has moved on, but she's still talking about the joke.
Yeah, I mean, Olivia had no lines and she did amazing with the mimology, such a scene stealer. And then Gottmik, I mean, she really surprised me because she is really good at improv.
Yeah. I think, well, like what I was thinking about is like, I was worried for Olivia because she fought so hard for the Cheryl character. But usually in like the past, whenever someone fights for a specific character, they always end up tanking. You know what I mean? So I kind of was like in that impression, like, oh my God, this is going to be so bad. But it ended up being like her line was basically my favorite one. And I really thought she stole the show during that too. So
her line, shut up.
I mean, like her expressions.
Yes. Shut up is my favorite phrase. Let's talk about those three girls' looks on the runway. I loved Gottmik's anal beads. It was, I was like, I think this was probably one of my least favorite themes for a runway, but Gottmik's take on it was hilarious.
It reminded me of my last Saturday night. Red and full of beads, anal beads.
Girl, you don't get no action. Stop playing. You ain't fooling nobody.
I know, we're in a, you know, my bathroom sees more than me than actual husband.
Yeah, I really liked her beads. The only thing is maybe it's just because I'm a little bit like slower at getting the jokes, but like I was kind of looking at it and I was like, oh, she had like balls on her head. And then when she was like, anal beads, and then I was like, beads, anal beads, got it. You know what I mean? Then I was like, this is funny, I got it. But if she would have never said that, I probably would have finished that runway being like, okay, so she wore, you know, some balls on her head. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Well, I mean, like also RuPaul's Drag Race has like become so it's not just for gays anymore. Like little kids are watching and like straight people and families. And like, yeah, I bet a lot of people missed the whole anal bead joke there. But for those of us that were in the know, I loved it. It was hilarious.
Maybe it's because I don't use anal beads.
You don't use anal beads?
No, I'm a classic kind of girl. You know what I mean? I like things classic.
Oh, the bigger the better, baby.
And then Olivia's look, I saw on her Instagram, like she had the person that made it for her. They did like I saw a time lapse of them making that outfit, and like it was like hand painted, and it was so awesome.
Which one was it again?
She had the like
with
jumper.
the candy rose with the candy muse wig.
That was cute. No, that was really, really cute. I really like the hair in that one.
Yeah.
And then Utica, I didn't get beads off of Utica's look this week. No idea what happened there. I like the concept, but I don't like the white straps. I think it was super lost. It was like the whole outline of it. The rest of it was fine. Just the middle.
I think the problem with Utica is she's so high fashion that she has like these really elaborate thoughts in her head. And when she gets it and nails it, it's amazing. But sometimes it's in her head and it doesn't get conveyed to us. And then when it's lost, it's really lost. Like, so it's gonna go really, really well or really, really bad. She's not gonna, I don't think she's ever gonna be safe because she's so extreme. But it was pretty bad, I think.
Yeah. Now I get the dead husband, I get the concept, but I didn't get beads off of it.
Yeah, I feel like that was very like if you were to do like a bride type of thing where like, you know, like a bride comeback, yeah, that would make more sense. But it didn't make sense to make it as a bead costume.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the next group, Denali, Rose, and Lala. by the way, when we were talking about the reading challenge, I totally forgot. Denali actually, I thought was really good at the reading challenge as well. I think that if Gottmik didn't win, Denali would have been my second choice.
I mean, slim pickings, but yes.
Oh, but their group, they had the I'm pregnant with my imaginary boyfriend's bebe. Hey, did you guys ever growing up, did you ever have imaginary friends?
Nope, all my friends are real.
Oh my God, Judge, goodness.
I was in China, so we're a communist country, so no, I did not have any imaginary friends.
Would you like to introduce yours to us, Summer?
Oh, he was killed not too long ago in a car crash. I'm so sorry.
Did you really have an imaginary friend, Summer?
I mean, just for a hot second when I was younger. There's no shame in that. It got me through a very tough time.
What did you guys think of? I thought that the concept was a terrible concept, like, but overall,
they're running out of ideas.
Right. Overall, they did okay. Like, it doesn't stand out to me. I actually thought Denali was the best out of the three of them.
Denali did not look at the camera once. She didn't even look at Ross once. She interacted with the others, but it wasn't like she was looking at them. Like she was afraid to look at the camera to act in this improv. Maybe she was scared to mess up. But Rosé was definitely a standout. And then Lala shut it down.
I'm trying to like remember. I think like if I remember the invisible Jared, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I have to say about that is like I think they struggled because like when you're improving, you're not supposed to know whatever they say. You're supposed to say yes and go along with it. But like when they had like a minor kind of like it kind of like shut everyone down. So then they had to like rethink a new strategy of how to like reapproach the joke and re-improv. You know what I mean?
Right. Especially when Lala entered.
Yeah.
But I got the opposite of you, Summer. I didn't think Rosé stood out to me. I thought she seemed forced. Like I feel like, I don't know, something about like her fake accent that just seemed really forced to me. But their looks, I loved Denali's look. That chandelier. I mean, I don't necessarily think of chandelier as beads. I think of more as like crystals or gems or something, but it was a different take on it. And for what she was giving, that chandelier look, I thought was amazing.
Mm-hmm. I definitely thought that she should have been in the top this week. And I was just so surprised because she did well in the acting challenge. She came out in this look. And I mean, I was blown away. I was like, I love seeing this on the runway. Love it.
I'm different. I don't like when I watch a queen come out and it's like think about it. If they didn't tell you what the theme was and she came out as a chandelier, like you'd be like, oh, avant-garde, like, you know what I mean? So like it's a very like she didn't even explain her concept of how she got the chandelier idea. So to me, I was kind of like, I love the look. I think it was absolutely out of this world. But to me, I just didn't think it made sense to have it in that category.
And Rosé's look, I didn't know that there was beads on there. Like, I didn't.
They weren't these kind of beads. They almost reminded me of like those flat, like you can get them. They're like outlines and all types of different designs and all that, but they're like beads that are cut in half almost.
I think it's supposed to be like the hair beads, but they like the beads that are in Summer's background. But the design was very, I think the design was very detailed. So like it didn't have like that beaded edge. It kind of was like more of like a rounded edge. But same thing as well too. Yeah, if they didn't tell you what the theme was, then you'd be like, oh, that's a really cute little. It's a new age twist of like a Bronx kind of Tinkerbell.
Let's talk about Lala's runway.
I'm just kidding.
I didn't think it was as bad as they said. I didn't catch the tear that Michelle was talking about, but I mean, it wasn't great. I actually was I didn't think Lala was bottom 2 tonight. I think maybe bottom 3, but not bottom 2. I don't know. It was her runway was just not standout, but it wasn't terrible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was definitely giving me beads. It's definitely Mardi Gras beads. If you were to look at her outfit, I mean, just like Shima's point all episode so far, you could read beads, but you could also read Mardi Gras. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I know they like kind of like weren't really feeling it, but I actually kind of was. I thought it was really really cute. So
Yeah.
like like when she was like swinging her hip and like the beads. Like sometimes I feel like people make the beads too long, so when you swing your hips, it doesn't flap up like it's supposed to. But I thought the length of everything on it was like perfect because it ended up. I mean, it didn't help her. No, she got sent home. Never mind. It did. I mean. I mean, it didn't help her for that, but I mean, for the look, you know what I mean? Like, it was there.
Yeah, I liked it. That was sad. She got read to filth, and when she was crying and untucked, I was so sad. Like,
Well, let's talk about the next group, Candy and Simone, which is I think this is the first time we've heard RuPaul say Simone. I don't know. I feel like this is the first time I've actually heard it.
I don't even remember that. So this is the first time I'm hearing it.
Great. Awesome. But they're doing the former teen queens. Where are they now?
I thought Simone killed it. She was so funny to me. She stood out. And I think it's funny because like later they talked about how Elliot wasn't matching Tina's energy, but I thought Candy wasn't matching Simone's energy.
Oh.
You know what? What's crazy is, everyone at home was thinking like, oh, Candy is so ruthless. Like she's really about to slay this competition. But in a way too, it kind of worked. But
Yeah.
I feel like I was really anticipating just a very over the top Candy character. But I don't know. I don't know. I liked it. I wish it was more like, I mean, like Simone Ye, like that character was the character that people came to see.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Candy didn't just like unlike Lala or Utica, she didn't distract from the performance. Like she didn't make it worse. But I don't think that she kept up with Simone. Like I felt like Simone was like way more engaging in like the stars, the stealing the spotlight. So their runways, this will be like one of the few times where I'm like, oh wow, Candy actually brought it. Like her hat was amazing. She had beads, red beads. She's still wearing like some skimpy little outfit underneath the fur. That was like my one critique, but with the fur covering it, it looked amazing. If she didn't have the fur there, it would have been. But
Very expensive. She looked very expensive, and I loved that. How my favorite part was the little outline bra that she had and her little pasties that were bedazzled in Swarovski crystals.
Swarovski.
They were Swarovski, probably from the same country. But one thing I noticed was that the stuff that was bringing her hat was the same stuff that Denali had as her chandelier. So to me, it didn't read beads. It just read Kimberly Kardashian wet.
Oh, I can see that. I get it.
But she looked beautiful.
I really liked the, like the nipples when it was like kind of like hanging out. It was very like Little Kim in the early 90s. You remember where she had like the purple and the little nipple pasty. So I really, really liked the look. It was very like her style, and she represented it really, really well, I think. So
yeah. And then Simone comes out in this. Now I've seen this before. The hair, at least, Jada Essence Hall, our season 12 winner, has had a look where it says Jada across the back in the beads. So when I saw Simone's name and she turns around, it says Simone. I saw that and I mentioned, and I thought to myself, probably from the same designer. But she looked great.
Hers was probably the most beads, like it was full on beads. Like she nailed the category.
Yeah. It looked like beads, you know, like that's what I was talking about. Like, I can't remember who the other person we're talking about was, but like theirs didn't look like beads, but her, like Simone's really, like you could see that those were like intricate beads on there and you can see the designs on it. So hers really, really to me, like if I was thinking of like, oh, what category do you think we're representing? Beads, girl, we can all see that, it's beads. You know what I mean? So that I really liked.
We are getting to Tina and Elliot now.
Okay.
Their challenge is my best friend's 600-pound ass is killing our friendship. Now,
this was the worst.
My 600-pound ass is killing my toilets friendship, okay? I would have a difficult time in this challenge, especially with this 600-pound ass. Elliot.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. What is the theme or the concept fat phobic? Like, why do we even have this to begin with? But it was the worst one of the night. Like, it was so bad.
Yeah.
And we also got this moment with Tina and Elliot earlier where they talked about like how Elliot needs to be better at relating to people. Like, I feel like she's just reeks of desperation and like the way she's like constantly needing attention and validation. Like
when two unfunny people are together and then it was just very like, it was a very forced, funny situation.
It's kind of Tina's like, a comedy queen. Like she should have been funny.
You know what? And I think it's like another one of those ones where like they were like, oh, this is improv. You know, I got this on lock. But it's kind of like, no. And it's kind of like Snatch Games. You know, some of the ones are like, oh, I am going to be like bomb.com. I'm trying to think. I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but it was the Queen with Latrice where they were just so loud and they were like jumping up and down. I can't remember who that was. Now I'm all crazy.
Jiggly?
Yeah, it was, yes. It was Jiggly. You know how like she was like, bouncing up and down and everyone was just so irritated because they knew it was very, very forced. But it's like, you know, like Homegirl wasn't funny. So she just really, really tried to push the funny. And I don't know if it's just like you're in the moment and you're acting because you're an actress. I'm curious to know how she would feel after, you know, like if Tina watched it after, how did she feel?
Right.
Because I think she thought it was funny, but it really wasn't funny.
She did have a beautiful look. I think that her runway was probably her best runway that she's had so far. It fitted well. It was red beads. It was stunning Mardi Gras. The wig that she chose actually worked because it was like a flapper dress and she had a flapper wig. I think she looked good.
She looked stunning. And I want that outfit that is stone to filth. This one I got off Amazon.
Oh, is that two dresses though?
Huh?
Are you wearing two dresses?
This is a bodysuit underneath.
So you were in a bodysuit and then a sheet over.
A sheet.
Got it.
From Fashion Nova.
Got it. So you would slay the bead challenge too then.
Yeah.
Because that reads beads, honey.
You know, you're supposed to put glasses on when you're reading.
I have one somewhere. I'm not reading her. I kind of like her sometimes.
What did you think about Elliot's outfit? Do you remember what she wore?
Yes, Elliot was wearing it was like the beads, but it was kind of like intricate on her body.
Yeah.
The only thing I disagreed with is I feel like when you come to learn a song, so like, you know how like they always talk about in drag, when you're doing a song, there's a difference between lip syncing the words and like doing the words, you know what I mean? So you're like, you know, if you're to do any like, I will always love you, or like, I will always love you, you know what I mean? So like, to me, I felt like Lala gave a lot of face, but then I felt like Elliot won because that split came right at the perfect time. Because if you watch it, when she first did the split, I really thought they were gonna pull a Eureka and
Cameron Michaels.
Because it literally looked like they were both about to do the split. So like we were all at home like, bitch, they're both gonna do it, and then only Elliot did it. So that's like, so to me, I was like, Elliot won. So after the first split, I was kind of like, Elliot won because that split was right on cue. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, the way that Elliot just graces across the stage in those heels and just dances and flips. He's not really flipping in this episode, but he's splitting and he's really bringing a lot of like emotion into it. And it's like, this is the Elliot I want to see in challenges that loves to perform.
Well, like you were saying that she nailed that split just on the perfect timing. She's a dancer. She knows how to feel the music. So she knew where it was coming. And then also, but when Lala and Elliot were both getting low at the same time, like I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
I thought that they were really on par. Like I wouldn't have been surprised. I mean, I would be surprised if there's a double save at all this season because the 5 week long premiere, but like we have to eventually get to the top 3. But
6 months down the road.
I thought that this lip sync was worthy of a double save. I think that since it was Elliot's first time in the bottom, because like I don't think Lala did bad at all. I think Rue was probably already planning on sending her home.
Yeah, especially from last challenge.
But I don't think she should have been in the bottom anyhow. But anyways, the other look was Tina on the runway. I hated it.
It was bad.
It was
bad.
Orange hair again. Orange hair. I can't. Then she looks like a clown with Mardi Gras. It says beads, but the belt that she took off first, she took it off so quickly, and then it was so loud when it hit the floor.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what was that? And then she's like bouncing around, and then she's got her little tits she pulls off.
Yeah. Well, now she's like trying to do a reveal every runway, and I'm like, your reveals, if you're gonna do a reveal, at least don't be boring. Like, I honestly thought Tina and Elliot should have been in the bottom instead of Lala, and I think that Utica should have had to lip sync this week. But that's my thoughts. Like,
yeah, but it was Lala and Elliot. Lala goes home. Elliot stays. Olivia wins
again.
She's got $10,000 now because this is twice, and all the girls are like, "She's rich." I'd be like, just like Candy Girl, give me one. You've got 9 more.
I think that Olivia deserved to win, but I would have been happy if Simone won too. So like either one of those top 2s. I wish that Denali would have been in the top 3 with them instead of Candy, but that's just me. But Olivia is really proving that she, like, I was going to be a fan no matter what. But now I'm thinking maybe she might actually win this. Like, did we talk about who your favorites were, Shima? Oh, you said Candy. Any other favorites?
I do. I really liked Olivia, especially in the improv one, because I mean, I liked her because I didn't like her because she was fighting so hard for Cheryl. So like like I was saying, I had that notion that I was like, this girl is gonna tank, and we're all gonna be like, you should have just picked the other girl, but you don't want to listen. But because the meme is so hard to do with your face, think about it. We have like
a meme
shadows to really kind of define our expressions, but like when it's completely whited, like it's really hard to really show any type of emotion or expression. But like when she was doing like the hand, like you know what I mean, like everything, I thought it was was that good?
That was scary.
Do you think I could have been Cheryl? But I thought I honestly was like, after that happened, I was like, you know what, she really, really fought for Cheryl, and she nailed Cheryl. So I was really, really impressed with that.
Yeah. She's so good. And next week is a singing challenge, which she's a singer too. So I'm like, if she got 3 wins in a row, that would be crazy.
Let's let somebody else shine for one.
Oh.
Think about the others.
No, I want to see him get it all. But Rose is a singer too, so maybe this will finally be Rose's day that she's been waiting for.
Maybe.
I just hope that we actually get to hear like everyone knows my all-time favorite RuPaul girl is Jujubee. But you remember in the first season, we didn't really get to hear her really sing. You know what I mean? It wasn't until she made it on All Stars the second time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's when I really was like, oh my God, this song is everything. But during the first season, we didn't really get to hear. I mean, maybe they have better equipment now. I don't know.
And I couldn't believe that Jujubee didn't win that challenge, that All Stars challenge. I was like, her singing was amazing. That was that whole All Star season I was kind of annoyed at, but that was the first week and I was just already mad. I was like, Jujubee should have won that. But well, that's it for this episode of season 13. Thanks for joining us, Shima, and all you viewers out there, please subscribe.
Subscribe, comment, share to your friends, share to your family, share to your coworkers. Oh my God. Put me in the urinal, put my face right there. That's where I want to be.
What?
We'll have an extra guest next week. I don't know who it's going to be, but it'll be a surprise. I love surprises.
You'll be sober and not hungover.
Oh, I hope so too.
And this is the entrance music, or the exit music.
I'm in the corner. I'm not a singer, so I'm just gonna stop right
there. My brain's frozen. When you're videoing something